Hi Yash.
Hi,
Yeah, yes.
Hi. Uh, has anyone figured out how to actually revise or prepare for the screencast?
Prepare for the screencast means?
I mean, they have introduced coding part in the screencast, and we might get the coding questions. I mean, to debug or to guess the output from the screencast, right?
I think best way to go about it, let us look at previous year's papers. And if
We,
there are questions in that like that,
Mhm.
we can focus. Otherwise, I think we may end up spending a lot of time.
Actually, I have seen a question someone has asked in the mad2 group, the other group.
Mm.
So from there, I asked people where it formed. So someone said it is from screencast.
Acha.
There was the question actually.
Yeah.
Now, where was the question?
Question is in public matter group, the other group. I'll try to forward it.
My question is no. Where did he take that question from? Like previous term question papers or
Yeah,
something?
previous year.
And we are doing the previous term question papers also now. Now,
Yeah. So I
नहीं
was
तो if
we are
you
having
हाँ
Mhm.
okay.
uh, we are having screencast in each and every week, right?
correct.
And that's little different from what we are studying in theory. Just like I feel finally was also from a screencast in this quiz too. That finally question where we didn't know that finally takes input.
Yeah, okay.
I have got no idea, Yash. Please suggest something. Because
Yeah.
screencasts, I find them so difficult.
Even I left them for Med 1 and I lost some marks that time also for Med 1.
Correct. But this time I don't know because I don't know. I was thinking screencast I will see after finals, so that when I have to
Yeah,
make project.
even though I have watched them while I was watching the week's lecture, but I cannot recall them.
Yes, that is the whole issue.
Hmm. Okay, let's then start with this first.
Yeah, can yes, you start with this? We finish this fast, week 11.
Yeah. So the first question is, which of the following statements is or are true regarding Flask caching? So the caching decorator includes the function parameters in the cache key. That is incorrect. The memoiz decorator includes the function parameter in the cache key. This is actually the correct option. Cache decorator doesn't include the function parameters. And C is both the cache and memoiz decorators works the same way for functions not having any parameters. Okay, I wasn't sure about this one, but we have a reference to read.
Can we just explore this a little bit?
Let us do that.
Yeah.
Just the documentation. Go ahead. Yes, can you say what?
Cache is managed through a cache instance, and then we have a config. So debug is true. It is a simple cache. Default timeout is 300. Much about. Let's move a little below and we see the decorators if there are. Okay. I can see the decorator. To cache view functions, you will use cached decorator. Okay. But they were talking about some other decorator.
Memoize.
Yeah, memoize and okay, and the cache decorator. Okay. Mm, the cached decorator has another optional argument called unless the argument constitutes a callable return to a call. Mm, okay. Caching other functions.
What is this timed out? It is cached for 50 millisecond or what?
50 seconds here.
Acha, 50 seconds. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
means it is cached only for that much duration, and after that it is removed from
Correct.
the cache, is it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Acha.
memoization. We got it. So in memoization, the functions argument are also included in the cache key. So in cache, there are no functions argument, and in memoize, there are functions arguments. And here's the note that we were looking for. With functions that do not receive arguments, cache and memoize are effectively the same.
हाँ ठीक है.
That is our option C. The theory behind memoization is that if you have a function you need to call several times in one request, it would only be calculated the first time that function is called with those arguments. Okay, so for example, an SQL alchemy object that determines if a user has a role, you might need to call this function many times during a single request to keep the from hitting the database every time this function is needed. You might do something like following. Okay, okay. So in memorize, they are actually memorizing whatever the output when the first function was called first time. So, for example, if someone is accessing the database, they are running the function to know what role does the user have, and later they are just memorizing that role to do certain task. Right, Goku?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So effectively, you have asked that query, and that query sort of gets installed or whatever in cache. Let us say it gets included in the cache so that it can be easily retrieved. In case you're trying to access it multiple times. Correct? I think that is the
Yeah, yeah.
main.
So as we can see in the below article, that it is memoize cache. It is stored as memoize cache as per function basis.
Mm-hmm.
So so for this function, there will be a cache which will store whatever the output we have got, and it will keep on using that output to do things.
Correct.
So it will not hit the database again and again.
Mm.
So there is more to explore in this. Are you going to look at the whole thing?
I think not required.
No,
No, right? So I think we are good with what we have seen. The cache decorator includes the function parameters in the cache key, which is false, right?
right.
So it is the memoize decorator.
Correct. Correct.
Memoize decorator includes the function parameters. Okay. What's the next? And that's what the second option is. What the other thing is? Both the decorators work the same way for functions, not having any parameters. That's fine, right? I think it's okay, right? Ishita,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aish.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Ishita, take the second question.
Okay. So, which of the following statements is are correct regarding caching? So, caching can be done at browser level. Mm, Caching is like done in at server level, right?
I would say you can do it at the both, but let's just read this, read this option. What do you mean by server level, Ishita?
No. Um,
Why do you want to cache in a server and not in
Yeah,
the,
because it's already there in server. Na? I think caching in server would not serve any purpose.
acha, okay.
And every
okay.
every data is
It,
there in server anyways. Correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're saying caching can be done at various levels like browser level, proxy server level, database level, etc. A hard refresh clears the browser's cache and forces the browser to load or get the most recent version of web page from the server.
Okay. So coming back to the point here,
Huh.
caching can be done at the browser level. What it
Browser
means is
level,
that,
yeah,
yeah. So if you are loading, a 2 MB file,
yeah.
right? A 2 MB response from the server. So where do you
Hmm.
cache it? You basically cache it at the browser level, right? I mean, you store it in your local,
Yeah, okay,
which is nothing but the browser level, client side,
okay, okay.
right? So
Hmm.
as you saw here, see browser level, which is like after
Hmm.
you receive the data, you're storing it here. So there is something called as proxy server level. So you don't store it directly into the server. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
I mean, from the server to the client, there you will have something called as proxy server. Means, uh, if you know that people are gonna search a particular thing frequently, for example, IPL match results. I mean,
Hmm.
you get the point.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're
I
having some
think
match
in
today,
mad 1 he had told, I think, something like
correct,
this.
correct.
Proxy server.
So if someone is going to search it further, so you can cache it so that you can render it much faster.
Okay,
Got
got
it?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So again, database level, if you are having like millions of records, the database also you can cache it. Got it?
okay. Yeah.
So what would be option?
The option is false because we just said okay, we can save it like at the proxy level, server proxy level.
It's a proxy server level. Go ahead.
And then hard refreshing a web page clears the browser cache for that specific web page. Yeah, true. So A and C is correct. Yeah,
Hmm.
correct.
So they're saying that it cannot, but it can be. Okay. Good. Priyanka, take this.
Okay. A cached resource stored at proxy server level, its copy to multi. Yeah, true. No, I think this should be correct. A cached resource stored at a proxy server serves its copy to multiple users. I think probably that is what we were discussing. The IPL we have this
Correct.
thing. Probably this is correct.
Hmm.
Okay. And then hard refreshing a web page can still result in a cached response being served from a correct no server is different storing place, different cache as compared to the browser level. So if
Okay.
you
Once
are
again,
we are hard refreshing a web page, it may
hmm.
get deleted from your what is this browser level,
Browser.
but it
Hmm.
will still be there in the proxy server if it has been cached like that.
Ishita, you got this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Hmm.
Now, caching at browser level provides the least latency if compared. Correct, correct. Well, we just said, na, like for a hard refreshing, for example, everything there in the web page or on browser level, it will be deleted immediately. Yeah. So while at proxy level, probably they will have some type of timer or something, or some such algorithm, and it will
So
be
Priyanka, this question, this option, C option, it means least latency. Means it'll be
time one. Yeah. How
yeah,
how
exactly
how
time.
long it will be active?
How fast you can get that data.
Acha, least latency that way. Okay.
That's what the point. Least latency
Ah,
means.
correct, 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 correct. So browser will be least latency because that is like, let us say, as closer to you, faster
Hmm.
it will be.
Correct.
So at browser level, it's closer to you as compared to
Mhm.
proxy level, which could be thousands of kilometers away actually.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aish, everyone else okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Priyanka, can you just read the solution also once?
Ah, yes, yes. A resource being cached on proxy server is meant to be served to multiple users without hitting the origin or database server, like we discussed. Yeah? A hard refresh forces the browser to get the most recent version of the web page, but it can still be a cached version available at the proxy server. Okay, the
Hmm.
cached resource that are available on the client's browser provides the least latency as the browser need not even make a network call to fetch the resource.
Hmm. So hope it's clear, right?
So I didn't understand the third line, but like this is written like here, but it can be still cached version available at the proxy server.
So there are, we saw that like
Okay,
there are
got
few
it.
other.
Okay. So what hard refresh does is it removes all the cache at the browser level, but the
Hmm,
at proxy level it might be there.
correct. Proxy is outside,
It
right?
it might be or it always be there.
If
No,
you
it
have put a
might be only.
proxy,
It
it
only
might
might.
be.
See,
Okay.
we don't know how that proxy server works. There could be some different algorithm.
Hmm,
How long it will be cached there and all that. So it can still be there or it may not be there.
hmm.
Okay.
Great. Go ahead, Aish. You do this question.
Yeah. So which of the following criteria should be directly considered while measuring the performance of an application? So the number of requests an application can handle for a given time interval with as much as little latency. Okay. Uh, yeah, it is
Is it
right, I think,
performance?
because yeah, performance measure is I think this only like it has to be least latent. It has to be have least latency,
Hmm.
Correct.
and the number of requests a user can the application can handle is also important. And the second point is how does the application scale overload? Yeah, it is also important. Like the scale is the also a bigger property of a website. Like a website need to be scalable. Like it can be the multiple users like thousand or like lakhs depending upon the websites. क्या कहते हैं websites whatever what we say. Uh,
What does this line mean? How does the application scale overload? It is,
so
acha, acha,
overload means
okay, as the number of people accessing this particular application increases, you should be able to scale the application. Yeah, so
yeah
that its
yeah.
performance is okay, 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 understood. ठीक है.
Its performance does not get affected
Correct, correct.
after yeah. The third point is application should be written in Python-based Flask or Django framework. It is not necessary like it can be written in Spring Boot or any other framework.
Yeah, that's correct. Good. Yeah, I think this for Yash.
Yes. Which of the following tools can be used to measure or analyze the performance of a web application? So, Professor has demonstrated Lighthouse. Postman is for debugging the API.
Mm-hmm.
GT metrics, I've never heard.
So now we can see that GD Metrics is a tool that can be used to perform website.
Lighthouse we had done ourselves, na here.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Lighthouse we have done it.
Hope it's clear, right? I mean, this is something new which we need to know. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was watching this lecture yesterday and I see Gokul's Gokul was very active in this.
What?
Acha, live session.
That was a live lecture, na week 11's lecture.
Ha.
Oh,
Gokul is everywhere.
bro. Okay, chalo. Let's go ahead. Yeah, Priyanka, I think it's for you.
I think Ishita's
Oh, Ishita, okay. Take her take.
or Yash.
Yeah.
Yash's,
Mm,
I think. Yash finished her. Okay.
Yes, to the previous question.
Yeah.
huh. Okay. So, which of the following is correct statement? Cookie size can impact the website performance. Yeah, it can. I'm like, um, wait a second. I don't know, but logically, I think this is correct.
So I mean I want to ask like impact in a positive way or a negative way. Like I saw like if when we are trying to save cookies, like it
Hmm.
should increase the performance, no?
But
No,
it
he's
will
talking about
also
size, no?
make the speed
Size.
low, na?
Yeah. Size will not have a positive impact. No, if it is very huge.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Exactly. Let
Oh,
me come here. See, what is a cookie? Cookie is something which you're gonna send along with the API call. Am I right?
Yeah.
yes.
Ayush? Okay. So let's say that
Yeah.
most common thing that we are looking here is cookie-based authentication or something like that, wherein we pass along a token along with the request. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So if
Yes.
you're sending longer version of that, then it's gonna take more time to send it also, right? More data to be sent, something like that. The greater the size, the
Tell me
lower the
here,
performance.
Gokul, if for with this whatever cookie we are sending, the
Uh-huh.
authentication does it participate in timing of authentication? What I want to say is, if you have a more complicated cookie, whether it will take more time to authenticate. Is this what is impacting? Because cookie, how large can it be? I mean, would you have a
Not sure. Not sure.
huge size? Ah, okay. Because I think it must be a few lines only, no? It cannot be very big. Okay? Or is it big?
Yeah, that
Acha,
tick demonstrate everything.
maybe they want to see that it remains in the web cache, and so it may impact. Like if you have a number of cookies or if the sizes are big.
Hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Shall we move ahead? A bit? Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So a request to static dot. I mean, like B option is incorrect. And then C option is saying a request to static dot example dot com will include cookies set for example dot com, assuming domain attribute is specified with example dot com. This is true because like domain like set cookies are also sent for the domain, right?
I'm not.
A request
Yeah.
to
What did you say?
static
Repeat.
example.com will include cookies set for assuming.
See. Okay. One thing I can say is you are sending a request to do two different things. One is
Hmm.
static.example.com, so which is a different domain, and there is
Hmm.
this example.com. I mean, not a domain. That's a different page or something. Static.example.com is a different subdomain
Hmm.
of the same. Here example.com we have example.com, something like try.google.com and mail.google.com, right?
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
So they're asking, will it will include cookies set for example.com?
Yes, yes. It will
So
include.
it,
Yes.
yeah, because Google Drive and Google Mail both are into same email, right?
Hmm.
Same account basically. So if you're logging in here, that also is automatically logged in, right?
Acha.
Correct.
Priyanka?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Good. Aish, you want to ask something here on this? Any points? Any inputs?
Actually, I didn't know about this. Like a request to static.example.com will include cookies set for example.com. So this static file will have cookies
Bro, it's
set
not
for
static file. Bro,
example.com.
it's not static file. I just told you, right? So the
It's just XYZ
static.example.com.
name. XYZ
Uh,
name, yeah? We should think like that.
see, here we have try.google.com, which is a subdomain of google.com. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Similarly, you will have mail.google.com. So if I sign into mail.google.com, it's enough for me to sign into the drive also, right?
okay,
If I sign out of
okay,
the
got
drive,
it.
it also signs out of the mail or something like that.
Okay, got it. Like it is when we log in into the uh, super क्या कहते हैं, super website, then all the sub websites are directly logged in.
Okay. Yeah, who's next?
My question. Okay. So suppose you have a web page which includes a paragraph with some content, images, and style sheet. You want to update the content of the paragraph with JavaScript. Which of the event among load and DOM content loaded you should wait to fire before updating the content for better performance? Which of the event among load and DOM? Okay, both of them will result in same performance. This I've got no idea. No idea. Let us read what it says. I've got no idea. Okay. The load event is fired when everything, including images and style sheets, are fully loaded. But DOM content loaded is fired, loaded, I think, yeah, is fired as soon as the HTML is loaded without waiting for style sheet and images. In order to change the content of paragraph, only DOM is required. So DOM content loaded will result in better performance. Acha. Okay. Okay, what they want to say is that load event is fired anyways later on. So what gets immediately fired is DOM content loaded. So if you want to improve the performance, since that will use up some of the resources. So if you want to improve the performance, it's better to delay the DOM content loaded. Uh, so that will improve the performance. Is it like that? I think it's like that, no?
Can someone answer that?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, fine.
So, any doubt on this? Ishita? Ishita, are you here? Hello?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So do you
No,
have any doubts on this?
no,
Yes or no?
no. I don't have any doubt.
Okay. So, shall we move further?
Yeah.
Okay, whose question is this?
I think Ayush Goyal has joined. Let him take.
No, he left it. I left it.
Okay, okay. Then Yash's.
Okay. So, suppose you want to embed an image of 100 cross 100 pixels in your web page. Which of the following statement is correct? Using an image with dimension 200 cross 200 pixels and scaling it using HTML will perform better than using a 100 pixel image directly. Okay. Second option is using an image with dimension 200 cross 200 and scaling it using HTML will perform worse than using a 100 cross 100 directly. C is scaling using HTML does not impact the performance. So, no idea. So, reading out the solution. Using the exact size image as required gives a better performance, as the resize of the image or scaling may affect the performance of a web page by some margin.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
So what this is an extra job, I think, yeah, like
Yeah.
rescaling. So
Mhm.
probably if you want to rescale, scale it to some other size, that will consume some time. So
Okay.
your
Yeah.
probably, yeah, it is
So,
impacting the performance.
mm,
Probably it's like that, yeah.
so professor has mentioned this as layout shift or something, I guess, where he has demonstrated that while reloading a web page, initially text was shown in some other style, and when image was not loaded, and when image is loaded and scaled to something, the text appearance had changes. So he was saying that this affects the performance.
Okay.
Okay.
Like there is some parameter in Lighthouse also, main contentful paint or something, which evaluates that how much time it take to settles down the page, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So
To
there is an
literally
image.
load the page, na, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Initial loading, some color, some this thing, then final loading, and then how much time it takes for you to, for it to like become accessible for response, putting something into it by the user.
So, so their professor has demonstrated that it will take more time if we need to scale the image as well.
Okay, chalo. Go ahead. Who wanna take this?
I think Ishita or Ayush.
Aisha, Aish, can you do this?
Yeah,
We know what this
yeah.
is. Okay.
Which of the following is are correct regarding e-tag and if match? So e-tag is a response header to validate the current version of resource. Okay, it seems right. Yeah. Second point is e-tag is a string of ASCII characters placed between double quotes. Okay. Third point is for get and head request if match request header is sent to get the resource only if e tag value matches. Okay. The fourth point is for get and head request if match request header is sent to the get request only if e tag value does not match. So the solution is ematch is an HTTP response header which act as an identifier for a particular version of a version of the resource. Okay. It acts as an identifier for a particular version of a resource. Okay. So a new e tag must be generated in the resource at the specified URL changes. So every time we generate a new URL, a e tag must be generated for that URL, changing that URL. Okay. So
Can we little bit explore maybe?
okay. So Gokul is saying we can continue. So does
Okay.
anybody know about this better?
No, can we? I'll try to open this thing, and I can share etag dash http. Let me see if I can open.
Google is saying yes, we can. So, Google, if you're listening, can you click on this link? E-tab. No.
I'm trying to open mdn mozilla.org. mdn mozilla.org. Let me see if it will open. Okay, I've opened something. Let me share. Wait.
No, Priyanka. You wanna share it? Okay, share, share, share.
No, no, I was opening this document only. If you can open, fine.
Okay, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So the
Yeah.
e tag or identity tag HTTP response header is an identifier for a specific version of a resource. Okay, this we have seen. It lets cache be more efficient and save bandwidth as a web server does not need to respond in a full response. Yeah, as a web browser does not need to resend a full response if the content was not changed.
So are you able to understand what I am mean? Priyanka?
So what we have understood, see, what we have understood, it's some ASCII characters inside double quotes, yeah. So that means with e tag response header, yeah, it is being sent, yeah. So what happens is that your cache can be more efficient because web server need not resend a full response if the content was
Correct.
not changed.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So only the changed part is alone it is sending back.
Correct.
Hmm.
So additionally, tags help to prevent simultaneous updates of a resource from overwriting each other. ठीक है, okay, somehow. So mid-air collisions also. So if the resource at a given URL changes, okay. Case sensitive, okay, a new e tag must be generated. Okay. A comparison of them can determine whether two representations of resource are the same. Okay. So syntax they have shown, yeah, e tag is w e tag underscore value. So this gets automatically generated or what? Must be, no?
No idea.
Okay.
So it seems like you need to add a tag like this for instead of HTML.
Yeah, we can see an example is given some huge number is there.
Hmm. Correct.
Mhm. When editing a wiki, the current wiki content may be hashed and put into an e tag header in the response. ठीक है.
Hmm.
Okay, you can detect. Acha, if match. Acha, if match is to detect the header collisions. See what they are telling with the help of e tag and the if match headers, you can detect mid-air collisions.
Hmm.
Acha, okay. So they're telling if match, yeah. So you have to do something. Yeah, contain header. If the hashes don't match, it means the document has been edited in between, and a something precondition is failed error is thrown. Acha. So if the hash is not, so it is sort of checking whether the content is same or not. Yeah, for example, it may be helpful for you to find out whether there's a different revision or something. So
Correct.
whether you want to update it or not. So it will be
Hmm.
helpful for that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Another typical use of e-tag header is to cache resources that are unchanged. If a user visits a given URL again, that is an e-tag set and it is stale, the client will send the value of its e tag along with if none match header field. Okay.
All right, guys. So
So we can look at this question again now. So e tag
okay.
is a response header to validate the current version of resource. Correct, this we understood. E tag is a string of ASCII characters placed between double quotes. Yes. For get and head request, if match request header is sent to get the resource only if e tag value matches. Correct. So this was they were telling na that
Yeah, if match means it was only if
yeah,
the values matches.
correct. If it is not matching, means it is different content.
If not match, I think.
Yeah,
Right. So if none match.
yeah,
Okay. Fine. Is it fine, guys? Everyone else?
Yeah.
Guys?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Ishita, just finish this off. Last question. We know about this already.
Okay. Which of the following is are true regarding CDN? So CDN, yeah, CDN is an
Content delivery
acronym
network.
for Content Delivery Network. Yeah, this is true, and it is the network of servers to provide fast delivery of web content. Yeah, true. And then it reduces the distance between the client and the resource, which results in faster delivery of the content.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
actually the meaning of content delivery network. Why do we have
Mm-hmm.
it? This is the reason.
Okay.
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 Great. So is that fine, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, let's not waste time though. Um,
Mm.
we'll go with the previous term question papers also.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yes.
Or previous term or quiz two? What do you want to do?
No,
Previous
let us
term.
start with finals. Finals, no, I think
Yeah,
better.
yeah, end terms.
All right. Then that means whatever subject I had taken in the previous term, if I go there, I would get the that particular term's question paper, right, Frank? Hope
Anji.
I'm correct.
Hmm.
Wait, okay, in term, yeah. Okay, we have so much. I'm taking the first one.
It will have application. Application.
last time it was abdiv, right? Oh, wait a second. Is this for only?
It may not be there also in
Yeah,
front
it's
of you.
because
You're talking
I
about.
think this is only in the afternoon.
Okay.
mad2 is only present in the afternoon slots always.
Acha.
I remember that.
Why they want to ensure that people sleep by that time?
Yeah, yeah.
Acha.
I would
Probably.
sleep any time with Mac too.
Or they want to say don't get depressed after the first paper itself. Write the easier ones first and then get depressed.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's app space dev. I gave app dev. Okay, let's do this. Um, yeah, yes, you started the first question. Let you start.
Okay. Which
Mhm,
of the following statements is or are true regarding JavaScript language?
mhm.
JavaScript is a low-level programming language. No, it is a high-level programming language.
What is a low level language, high level language?
Yeah. So what they have mentioned is,
See,
uh,
if it's like zeros and ones, something like that, which
yes,
is machine readable, it is a low level language. If it is human readable, it's a high level language.
yes.
But actually, that C is a low level language, but it is not an 0 1 type. C,
Sorry,
low level language.
that's correct. You're right. Go ahead,
Uh,
Arish. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying like C is a low level language, which means we
Yeah.
have to explicitly write every syntax for every operation we want to done do. So what C takes does is like does a code of matlab like Python takes only 2 or 3 lines of code, but C takes that code to be written in at least 5 lines. So
Mm-hmm.
it on that every syntax is very clear to the machine, and it is not C is not an English type language, but it is Python is more like an English language. Like we are
Hmm.
doing something in English. So high level language are easy for humans, and low level
Yeah.
language are easy for computers.
Correct. All right. Go
No,
ahead.
but C is not a low level language. If somebody is asking whether C is a low level language, it might be closest to the low level language. But I think it is still high level language. No?
Priyanka.
Now considered. Acha.
So something which can automatically do that.
Acha. Okay. Just 2 minutes. Huh? You guys continue.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, sorry for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Second option is the const keyword can be used to declare objects with block level scope. That is correct. We can do it. It's just with const we cannot really change the value of the declared object. Int char are some primitive data types in the JavaScript language. Int and chars are not there in JavaScript. It is number and string, I guess, or something like that. Fourth option is the JavaScript language supports both the first order and higher order functions. Well, I had no idea about whether it supports higher order functions, but yes, it supports first order functions.
What is the first order and higher order function?
I have seen Nitin sir saying that.
What is that?
So I think that function inside a function may be the first order or higher order.
Okay. He is
Can
like
you
variable.
check the second link below this? What is a first order higher
This
order
one?
function? No, no, no. The other drop down.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
second drop down.
Sorry for that. Sorry for that. Ah, second drop down, huh?
Second. Yeah. Okay. So it's so yes, we have seen that promises takes two functions as argument or something, right? Hello.
Repeat, sorry.
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
higher functions, as I said. So if we can give a input function, I mean, if we can give argument as a function, or functions as an argument rather. So that is called as higher order functions. So we do it in promise, right?
Hmm.
We give two functions in promise as an input and get an output as a function. So that's an higher order function, right?
Okay. Okay.
Like for map, we give a function, and we give int, or
Hmm.
we can give any function. Even in map, we give any function, and in the left hand side
A
we give
simple.
some
This is
function,
what
and
it
in
is,
the
right?
right side.
Hmm. A function which takes
Yeah,
I mean, a function as an argument. That's all. That is what the higher order means, right?
yeah,
First order,
simple as
higher
simple
order.
as that.
Okay. The question was like there are two different things, right? First order and higher order.
Mm.
Yeah, but in this case, JavaScript supports it.
So first
So
order, we can assume that it does not take any function as input.
Hmm.
okay. So what do you say? Should we move further?
Yeah.
Aish?
Yeah, one thing I want to ask, like we have this const which takes which have block level scope. We have one and another key identifier or keyword which takes block level scope. Can you recall that? Like I am
Yeah.
not able to recall.
It was let.
Okay, and where has this whole complete scope?
Yeah. Global scope.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Aish, take this.
So, which of the following statements is are false? So, a web application must implement token-based authentication to make the application secure. Yeah, it is true. Like we need to do token-based authentication.
Once
Like
again, one.
we have
The
see,
question is like
we have
false, and this is a false statement. Aish.
must. It is so. It is not must. Like we give must not, but it is a way to implement authentication to make the web application secure. Okay, so it is not must. Must not be there. So that
Hmm.
is why this statement is false. We have another statement that is the jam stack approach separates out the front end from the back end, and they both can be updated, modified independently without affecting the other. Yeah, it is true. Like this statement is not false. Jam stack is used to separate the front end and back end. The next statement is it is recommended to avoid the usage of verbs in the API data URLs. So this statement is also true. It is avoided to use verbs because like the get post request does have some meaning, so we cannot use that. So we have fourth statement. The idea behind bringing an API to is to implement caching. Yeah, that doesn't seems right because idea of bringing API to is to fetch the data,
Hmm.
not implementing cache.
Correct. You're right. Yeah, Ishta and Priyanka. Okay, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
नहीं ये खाली ये वाला बताइए व्हाट इज द सेकंड पॉइंट जैम स्टैक अप्रोच सेपरेट्स द फ्रंट एंड from back end. They both can be updated, modified. What is this? Can someone explain this?
So this jam is I don't remember the full form, but it is like uh,
JavaScript. What was that? Stack. JavaScript API and markup. Exactly.
अच्छा, JavaScript API and markup.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually, the main use of API is to decouple front end and back end.
Correct.
So that is why Jamstack has the same purpose.
अच्छा.
yeah, yeah, you cleared a lot.
Priyanka, see, that's what Jamstack is what we do. We have separate front end and separate back end, right?
Correct, correct,
Huh? And both can be updated or modified independently without affecting the other. That's true.
correct, correct, correct.
Okay, go ahead. Who wants to do this next? Priyanka, take this.
I will take, I will take. Wait. So a salary system, what is true regarding salary and Redis? Salary system can only use Redis as a message broker. This
No,
so
no, 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 no. We also have something else also, right? You remember, this is not the only message broker that we need to use.
correct, correct. So many message brokers are there. Correct,
We saw this somewhere
correct.
earlier.
So salary system
Like
may consist of a
RabbitMQ and
number.
all.
What? Yes.
Like RabbitMQ, he has
Ha
mentioned.
Huh.
Correct,
RabbitMQ. That's correct.
correct. Yes. Then a salary system may consist of number of batch jobs. That is correct. We have seen it is used for batches. Yeah. Then a salary system needs workers to execute tasks. Yeah, that is correct. It needs workers. Oh, this was an easy question, huh? Yeah, this is self-explanatory. Somebody is taking.
Yeah, okay.
What is the question?
Uh, so, which of the following statement is true regarding webhooks and polling? So, a webhook uses HTTP protocol. Yeah, it uses, I think, post, uh, and then the term polling generally refers to the short polling.
Correct.
Okay, yeah. And then webhooks are used for one-way communication, unlike WebSockets. Yeah, so WebSockets are two-way communications, right?
Correct.
Are used for two-way. So this is also correct. And then polling, the connection to the server is kept open, unlike the uh,
Until
until the
the
data is available.
no, no,
Uh,
no. It just sends this thing and it closes.
connection is
Yeah.
open for WebSockets only, right?
No, no.
No,
Connection is
no,
open for
long
long
call.
polling. Long
Yeah.
polling.
Acha, long polling. Okay,
Polling
okay,
is
got
short
it.
polling, na? Short
हाँ हाँ
polling
हाँ
is like momentarily it will send after some regular intervals, it will send
हम्म
some message. And if it is server has some answer, it will give, otherwise it's empty. Correct,
हाँ
no?
empty.
Yes.
Yeah, it will keep on sending the request in a fixed interval. And as you said, it will just, if there is any request, it will come, otherwise, it will not. But in long polling, there will be variable intervals and they will keep the server open
Okay, got
Open.
it.
Correct.
So
and keep it checking.
Okay, guys. I might need to go now. Shall I call it a day? Tomorrow we'll do. We'll start continue.
So tomorrow, what time we are starting? Please let me know.
Six, six. Sure. Okay.
6?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'll
ठीक है,
join.
I'm waking everyone, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
In morning,
In morning,
Yes.
6 o'clock.
so can you make it 6:30 if it's
in
one?
morning.
Yeah.
Okay,
6:30,
6:30.
7:30. 1 hour
Ishita?
we will do
Okay.
6:30 to 7:30.
Yeah, 6:30 to
Yeah,
7:30. Ishita,
okay.
okay, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, okay, okay.
6:30. Yes.
So
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
chalo.
But
guys.
I believe, Yash, Ayush won't be available as he said today only. Like he is having some exam tomorrow. That is why he didn't join. And tomorrow also, I don't think he will be able to join in the morning. But no problem, I will convey to him.
He can watch the recordings in that case. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Chalo.
Okay,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
okay,
Okay.
bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Thank